Call the meeting to order, roll call.
Vote. Matt Bidler.
Here.
James Hopkins. Here. Grantham.
Here.
Sharon. Here. Al Bidler.
Here.
Riley.
Here.
Place.
Here. Petition by citizens on non-agenda items. Number 3, city clerk. The 1425 utility meeting minutes. I believe correctional changes are valid. May I motion? Matt, a second?
I'll say.
Gordon? No other questions or changes or anything from Michelle? Roll call?
Matt Bidler.
Yes.
Hopkins.
Yes.
Grantham.
Yes.
Sharon. Al Bidler.
Yes.
Riley.
Yes.
Close.
Yes.
Vote.
We're more, you're on.
Going.
April was a little bit slower than March, with only 16 permits that were actually issued. We had 4 residential, 6 accessory, 1 commercial, 3 excavation, and 2 signs. 468 Dayton Drive. These two were both in Natalie Estates and are both roughly 2,200 square foot, 26 square foot. We had 2 applications come in for the new Silver Creek edition, but only 1 has been submitted so far. It's this 1013 Waymaker Lane. This is one at 2,800 square foot.
The first one.
The first one, yep. The other one, we're having egress window issues. The second one is the first home in the phase 5 of Vermont, the newest edition. And it is 7,900 square foot.
Okay.
A little different, yeah. At 412 Laurel, they're installing egress window. 1314 Stonefield is getting an attached patio. 1311 is getting a shed. There were a lot of shed applications after the storms. 1112 Sherwood is getting an in-ground pool. 305 North Library is getting a deck, and then 209 North Library is getting a deck. The permit for Plaza Tire has officially been submitted, and they are getting ready to break ground. They're ready to start. Excavation, 3, Fawn Run, Redmont, and then Covington Drive, the Police Lane. It's basically fiber drop for the most part. Nothing super exciting. Steeple is on Main Street, is getting a new awning. I think that we did that in the beautification program, so that's what theirs was. And then 725 North Market is the new bridal salon that's coming in, the old J Fires, and then their sign as well. So we do have a planning commission meeting tonight. 3 lots that are currently business would like to rezone into residential. And it's the 3 lots back behind J Fires that are pretty much surrounded by residential. It's the corner of Evansville and no, the other side. The one Arby's is on
Okay.
that side.
We have.
I don't really see any major issues with it, but we'll go over that tonight. And then for permits that are in the works for May so far, we've got 3 residential. One of those is still in Silver Creek that I just mentioned. There's another one in Rimlock, and the other one is on South Main Street right there. And then 3 signs, 2 commercial applications, 2 excavations, and 2 accessories. So, it's gonna be a busy May again. Future note, don't take vacation in spring. It's very busy.
Good for Casey.
Casey's, I had an email that Nate was also on, but I think they're just questioning setbacks right now. No official documents have been submitted. Do you have an address yet, Nate?
I don't think so.
And that's all I got. Any other questions?
Have you ever public work?
All right, not a ton to report on. I just want to go back to April 15th. I don't know if everyone knows, but OSHA, the Labor Department, did a surprise visit to the city of Waterloo. It was to go over the water department and the sewer department. So no one called it in, they've been making surprise stops at municipalities as of recently. So it's a twofold thing. They started off by asking for X amount of paperwork. So we provided all of our documentations, safety manuals, etc. And then it was on-site visits. So went to the water department and then underground building and then to the sewer plant. So as you can imagine, they can find a laundry list as OSHA hasn't, as far as I know, ever been here. I know we've hired a service before to get things ready, make things safe around the city, but as far as I know, we've never been surprise visit like this. So your normal stuff. Electric panel boxes were blocked by whatever, a box or something. Emergency exit light was dead. The battery backup was dead. One of the bigger thing, if there was a overhead light, they need to be shatterproof bulbs, which we didn't have a whole lot of those. And that would only be in like your reachable areas. The underground department has a big loft where the ceiling's probably 7 foot, so we're gonna switch all those bulbs. Somewhere if they get knocked by something, they fall, you're not gonna get injured. So,
That's the only place we have that loft area.
that's normally loft area. Street department has a small loft area, but that's our big loft. Sewer department, as you know, there's a ton of buildings there. Jeff Davis got the heads up to kind of tighten up a few things, and we wanted to make sure that everything was ready to go. So we were looking pretty good. I did find out that we have an excessive number of grinders and drill presses. So we eliminated about half our inventory of excess grinders. So, most grinders, they take a little time off. So, but I think the sewer department probably had 5 grinders sitting in the shed. So, anyways, overall, it was productive because we were able to start taking care of things that, you don't normally see every day. They came up with their on-site fine of about $110,000 if they would enforce it. They said that they'd rather see us invest our money into our own buildings and equipment and so on and so forth. So it doesn't look like we're gonna get a monetary fine. The official report isn't out yet. He's thinking it probably won't be out until June. But the first 24 hours, we had the line crew switching out, exit lighting, bulbs. We had both departments with their whole crew getting things, the obvious stuff, easy stuff that we can take care of. I documented it, sent it to OSHA right away the next day, took care of a lot of it. But moving forward, I already visited the street department. That old building's probably the hardest one to be compliant. So the street department, that's a tough one to be compliant. It's a really old building. So the plan is I'll go down, check each building out, and make sure we're good to go as far as what you don't want is a second violation at a different building. That's the worst thing you can do. So the other thing is there is a consultation program that OSHA puts on that they come in and do an audit of your buildings. JR and I were talking about using that resource. What that does is it kind of puts those inspectors that were here off to the sideline. They come in and do a full audit of everything, and then we tighten things up. So I think that's a good thing to have.
Have we done that in the past?
Not that I know of. I know that it's been years ago that we had a company come in and put in all the placards and stuff, fire extinguishers where they need to go. We hired companies who fit all these buildings to be compliant for OSHA. But, so that's kind of what we're looking at.
A general price on that or not?
I don't have a general price on the OSHA audit deal.
Probably less than one fine.
I would say it's less than 1 time. We already spent probably $10,000 getting all this stuff already in our buildings just since then. So we did a massive buy. You gotta do what you need to do to comply. So, any questions?
So they'll render some sort of report and then what happens from there?
So they'll render a report, and most likely we already have everything checked off. But the report's going to state violations, and then they'll come back in the future to take a look at it, unless we hire this OSHA company to advise us. Then they won't come back.
In general, we shouldn't get a fine, but if they come back and there's still an issue that they issue a report on, we'll get a fine.
That gets ugly, and it would be for any building.
Right.
Not just the ones that they looked at. So it's serious, but we've got a good handle on it. I think we've done a pretty good job so far.
But we reacted very well to it.
Yeah.
I'd say yes.
Nate, I remember years ago, the Illinois Department of Labor sent investigators down, inspectors, and they found a few minor things, but that was through the state of Illinois. Like I said, I never knew OSHA would come here.
This was OSHA Department of Labor.
Was part of it.
State effect.
How did you have anything for
One day, we were here one day.
One what?
One day.
One day.
Oh, yeah.
They were here until 5:36 in the evening.
Yeah. It was a long day.
Yeah.
So they just popped in and said, hey, I mean, we had everybody was down talking and providing information. So they were a little confused why there were so many shifts in admin or new admin. They thought something happened. I said, well, Tim's gone. All these people that would know more information, they're gone. So they thought something was up. Just a change. Any other questions?
We're talking about the street department garage. I know it's just a block building. We talked about it before, Mayor, I think it's been brought up, eventually building a new street department facility. Is that still on our future plan, would we like to down the road?
On my plan, yes.
Would this maybe push that a little sooner?
We would not be able to do that in the current fiscal budget. We would actually have to be in the 26, 27 fiscal year. But yes, I do have a plan.
But it's on the horizon.
Right.
I don't think we have to stick a ton of money in the building. It's more housekeeping and, making things look a little bit safer, which will be a good practice anyways. So,
The street department is one that's most difficult to adhere to the rules, so.
it is.
And it has lots of physical issues.
Okay, the second thing, the lead and copper program that IEPA puts out. I just wanted to hand this out. It's a memo stating the 60 houses that need to provide sampling, water samples to the city in order to comply with our lead copper. So I don't know if everyone remembers, but back in 2022, we sent out a survey asking what kind of water service they had. Depending on what they marked, they got put on our program for us to either excavate to double check to see if there was a lead. And we fixed some of these lead problems, but we're down to 60 houses, and ironically, our population requires 60 samples. So twice a year, a homeowner's gonna receive 5 bottles. They gotta fill them up in order. They send in the 1st and 5th back to the city, and then it gets tested for lead and copper contaminants. So the letter basically states, we're gonna drop off the bottles. They fill it up because there has to be a 6-hour rest time before filling. And if they bring it back with their paperwork, then we'll give them a $20 credit on their water bill. So, it kind of gives them enough to actually make it happen. I went through the list today, and I know I'm gonna have a handful of them that are gonna be difficult. Some of them I've known in the past. So, it won't be super easy, but I think get them in that groove. Hopefully by the second set of sampling, they'll run pretty smooth.
If you put the city will credit your utility water account $20, you put that in the very first sentence, so keep their attention to continue reading. I don't think they'll read this part.
Probably not.
Hold it, underline,
Fold it.
whatever.
Yeah. So they're gonna get that letter many times. So we're gonna send it to regular mail, certified, it's gonna be on their front doorstep. And we might make phone calls. I might try to test the water out, see if it's a waste of time or not. But, once we get them acclimated.
Good work, there's only 60, so hopefully we can get all of them.
You need 100%.
It's the way out.
Yeah, like one of them is the old sandwich shop there on Gardner. Wolfgang is, I'm not gonna be able to get a hold of them very easy. There's a foreclosure one, there's one that no one lives in, there's a few that would be fun. So,
Mostly on that in town.
it's up and down market of, I'd say Hammacher to the gas station down there. That's all. So, if you want Main Street, if you want to.
So these come back 4 samples.
Honestly, I don't know. Good question. Haven't crossed that, Dr. Cross yet. I'm expecting that won't be a problem. If it is, it's probably my priority to switch them out. Because we can switch them all out.
Right.
But what our problem is, the water main that runs parallel to Market Street is junk.
Right.
And that's most of our lead problems. I think we have the budget to design, correct, JR? To design a new water line this year, and then implement it in the following.
A portion of it would be implemented this year as well.
So, now, EPA only requires like 7% every year starting like 2027. So we'll be way ahead of the game, no matter what we do.
7%
Of the
replacement
of the 60.
of the total.
Yeah.
So if we had 300, it'd still be 70.
Yep.
So
So
that'd be on the city, up in the city.
Yeah. Yep. Any questions? Yeah. So if you get a call or something, that's what's going on. Just want to inform everyone.
Or one of those three go out.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, okay.
Okay.
Or soon, by the end of the week.
West Third Street, things are going as planned. I mean, the amount of water is it's tough. Like you got water, it's just moving aggregate like crazy. But we're keeping up with it. Depending on this weather, I would say the next couple of weeks, wrapping it pretty close to wrapping it up. So concrete's looking good. So obviously, mill and overlay is not a big deal. Let's get all this concrete work done.
In between rains.
In between rains. Every time it rains, it washes something out. Like it's been tough for them. So, but everything's moving well. And also, like the businesses at the end of Western, like the Three Tails, that we've been accommodating them, making sure they can get in and out. So everything's been going well for them. So
It's the contractors down there, been helping, they have loads coming in orders, they get into their business.
they've taken the skid for us and brought in pallets for them off the truck. So, yeah. Okay. Last quick thing. Beautification. You're the commander, correct?
I understand I'm the king now.
He's the king of beauty, right?
The beauty king?
That's right.
You can make meetings fast.
You can't beat me. Sorry. We'll have one for next Monday. The old bean tree, it's called the Coffee Girl. I don't know if anyone knows. They want to stick some money in the facade. So I haven't looked at the plans yet, but part of that facade does include an ADA entrance. So I believe it would be on the Main Street.
We just only have 48-inch egress there.
I think they do between the pole and there.
Yeah.
That's a 10-foot wide sidewalk minus your pole.
Well, too, they always need to have somebody sitting on there, which makes it feel like it's more narrow.
Yeah, it feels very.
So there is room in order to do that. It won't look similar to the other ones.
Yeah, I haven't looked at their plans, so by then I'll advise.
2 steps up.
I would say it's 2
2
steps.
steps up.
I would say it's 2 full steps. And then the landing. So, that's something I will definitely want. I'll bring in. We got renderings and stuff. Pretty good. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks.
What's your public work?
Good, thank you.
Good evening, Curtis again. My outline for the as well. Here up on the screen as well. Okay, just to give everybody an update on our capital projects, other projects, 4th Street, Flower Street, many of you are aware, 4th Street, We hope to have that ready for advertising for bid, late May, early June. And then Flower Street, given the cost increase in both of those, we're gonna move the construction of Flower Street to FY 27. Unless we find some money. I talked to the engineer, and we may be able to bid it out this winter and have it ready to go for early next spring to get started. So the plan there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, question on that. If we're bidding it out, that part of it, are they required to hold the price on that bid?
That'd be part of the contract documents that they would.
Or do they get like a percentage, or is it you have to hold this price?
They would hold that price part of the contract. You know, when I say winter, it'd be like probably late winter. You know, they get them notice to receive basically late early May. So
Just
wow. That's for next.
So what's this budget called?
Six.
Okay, good. Finish in 26. So it just have to be after May of next year.
That's correct.
Right.
So I'm gonna meet with HMG, just kind of strategize on schedule to see better bids. Normally if you bid in the winter time, you have a tendency to see better bids, you know, that time of year instead of late summer. My experience seems to go better most of the time. Obviously COVID was a little bit different all the way around. Lakeview Drive, the mayor and I met with IDOT last week at East West Gateway. It is a recommended project. It's gonna go through the public comment process or 30-day. However, they did ask us to reduce the federal cost share. So we need to increase our cost share, and the federal cost share would be $1 million instead of 1.25. So you'd have to increase the $250,000, and we felt that was reasonable.
Tina and I are on board.
What's that?
Tina and I are on board.
The reason for it is there's $10 million in construction, and they want to keep the number around 10%. So that's, we agreed to last week in order to facilitate the project. So, the new turbine generator, we are working on updating the potential cost savings. Limbaugh is chomping at the bit to get ready, to get started. They were here today trying to match up colors of the existing metal, the Caterpillar building when the Cat engine sit. So we're navigating through the cost saving measures. We have a kickoff meeting planned for next week Thursday, meeting outside of Limbaugh, and just get everything started and get the project moving again. And Limbaugh is ready to go. So they're telling John that this morning. The delivery of the turbine is scheduled for August 15th. That keeps moving. It seems like I was told last week that is a firm date now, but I'm not holding my breath. So there always seems to be something going on. Again, it's still planned to be available late this year, early next year, and then work through IMEA on that front. Updates for city's responsibilities. We had that scheduled power outage for a portion of this General Morrison and then 4th Street last week or 2 weeks ago. That was successful. We got checked in 2 hours. That was part of that process. And then all we have left is to remove some underground drainage, some storm sewer to get it out of the way for the foundation. So that is going well. If anybody has any questions about any capital projects. All right. I just want to point out some of the recent storm and rain events that we've had the last few weeks. The tree limbs that have fallen down that we've picked up. We're still in the process of grinding those down at the Yardway site. It's an ongoing process. We need to buy some parts for a truck grinder, and we have about 3 days left for tough grinding. So just wanted to let everybody know that. Utility poles have been replaced, the ones that we're aware of, replacing those poles, and then moving on to our typical annual pole replacements. And then I'd like to point out that I've received quite a few drainage issue calls. I don't know if you guys have as well. That seems to be an ongoing issue. Trying to field all those. And kind of identify what the problems are. A lot of it's just, we received over almost 11 inches of rain in the month of April. There's some areas that are flat, not many swales, the swales have trees in them, or roofs are in the ditches, those types of things. So just trying to, get out there, meet with the residents. The street department's been addressing a lot of those. Most of the time it's on the homeowner to address the drainage problems altogether, unless it's our issue. But most of the ones we're seeing are the rear yard, side yards, those types of things. We've been fielding those calls and addressing them as needed. So, and then the rain is obviously impacting some of our mowing, so I just want to point out that some of our areas that we mow, especially with the big tractor and push hog, we just can't get there, we're just going to tear up the ditches more than.
Impacted everybody's ability to vote.
So what?
Impacted everybody's ability to vote.
Even myself. Right, Kyle? So, other than that, just wanted to point that out. The water treatment facilities operations and update, everything's been, knock on wood, running fairly smooth. We've been making some minor adjustments. Last week we posted the operating logs to the website, so that's out there. We're seeing 170 to 180 milligrams per liter on the hardness, so that's what we want to be. I hope to have, an operating, how much it costs to operate here by next utility meeting is my goal. We should have a good number for that. So that's something in the works. The well update tomorrow. Well 2 will be receiving the next screen that came in. It came in last week. The last piece came in last week as well. And we're waiting on a crane to lower it in, which should be here tomorrow to lower the screen. And then from there, they'll move on to well 1, and then well 3 is our plan. It's my plan. So, again, we're nearing completion on the project. I think we're going to have a request number 16 coming in, so we're getting close to the end. So we're working on what that retention is on some of these last minute punch list items. We're getting really close to for full completion on that. Anybody have any questions on water treatment? We have not received any complaints. One on taste or something. Other noteworthy items next week is National Public Work Week, so we're going to look out for some social media related posts out there. I'm excited to broadcast the Public Works group. And then some budget items. We talked about the Flower Street, but the sewer treatment plant is approximately 20 years old. So we've got some budgeted items for this year. The blowers, I know we've talked about, just some other related items that we need to address. It's 20 years is about treatment plant. We'll start seeing some of those issues coming up. So, later this week on Friday, we're expecting to get our street department backhoe. We ordered a couple months ago. That's a good thing. That's one thing that we've ordered that's coming in fairly quickly. And then just one last item here. At the bottom, last week Tuesday, I believe it was. Yeah, last week Tuesday, we had a power outage on our south circuit, which was about an hour and a half long. The mayor was on there. That neck of the woods. We found this culprit on Mark Drive, in the north end of Mark Drive, kind of behind the hideout retaining wall of the noise wall, adjacent to through there. So, we believe this has been a problem. We've identified it. See by a little closer, you see the burner branches that's been going on for a little bit. The picture to the left and the picture on the right is what was laying. Also laying on the lines too. So we tried re-energizing it a few times and it just kicked out right away. So once it got light out, we found it. And they cleaned it up. And they cleaned up some other trees and we cleaned up. Yeah, that's
I got 2 things for you, JR.
okay.
They're kind of the same thing. Southview Estates, is that what it's called? Nate, if you went out there, it's got Alicia Drive on it. just off of Route 3 before you get to South Library where you go to the mine, the underground tunnel. We've talked about it in the past. Nate, you went and looked at it. I think you might have, JR, I don't know for sure.
On the aerial.
But it's got curb and guttering. The road's the right width. 15 years ago, it was private. We talked about it a lot. I mean, I think we actually snow plow in and then pull up the plows, I guess, because that's actually our road. And we're talking a couple hundred yards to make the loop. The roads, like I said, are up to our standards by everything I can see. I see no reason that we don't take those roads over. So, and like I said, I've talked to a lot of you guys about it, and everybody seems to be okay with that. My question is, how do we make that official? Do we need to do that ordinance? Do we need to take a step?
Actually, I think the only real issue was the setbacks on those homes that were against the creek or actually too close to the road. That was, I probably didn't take that, I believe, it was before my time, but I think that's what I did. The road, when you go straight in South Drive, actually gets narrow after the last house. So I'm not sure if we push snow on past that, but I think too that we need to send it. And we tried 2 years ago to take it. It never actually worked.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Mary Smith wasn't interested.
Okay.
He had no reason except he wasn't.
And I wanted to look at it, do we have like an ingress and egress easement for us to?
That was actually just a straight line road, and if you just back up and make a circle.
Well, I guess look at it, JR, make sure you're comfortable with it. I think it's kind of a slam dunk. And then let's get forward. We've been talking about this, like I said, for 28 months now, 30 months now, and I think we're at the point, let's just get it done.
Okay.
And then the second one is you guys, Villas, Grinder. I guess where we left it was there was a quote that's pretty high to bring it up to exactly up to city standards.
Minimum, I guess was called.
Yeah. Let's see, I'm of the opinion, we've been dealing with this for 25 years maybe, 20 years at least. It was a bad situation that got us to this place. We are not doing anything, from my understanding, Nate, there's nowhere else in town like this.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, we've closed the ordinance off, so this will never happen again.
right.
And if we take this over, we're not opening ourselves up to 75 more miles of road that would be like this.
Yeah,
Because I believe it's the only one in town.
I think the big issue is you have residential owning a street, and I think that's the real problem. You can expect residents to,
Well, what I'm saying is we have a problem. And again, so 5 years ago, I believe I heard we had 66 miles of road that we maintained. Since then, Natalie States went in, and Remlock has done some more. Silver Creek now has some more. Like Whale Ridge. So I mean, our 66 is up, say 75. I don't know.
sure,
But it's a big number. And this is, again, maybe at most a half mile of road,
not,
probably less. I would say quite a bit, like a quarter mile of road. If we could get the villa owners, Burger King, and whoever's all involved, to throw in an amount of money to get it up.
Yes.
But I don't think that amount of money is $250,000. I think it's a lower number than that. To make it close to our standard. Let's just take it over and move on. In 3 or 4 years, we'll never think about it again. And we'll just, this is something we've been dealing with for 20 years now. Let's just do it and get it over with. But again, then what does that look like to actually, we talked about it before, what's the actual plan from now until next month so we just get this
I think you're gonna have to come up with some type of plan as to how much that's going to cost in order to get us to the both road. Because one is concrete, you just cut the sections out. The other one is blacktop and has no basement, but it's also stuff.
Cool.
So on that one, can we just have a meeting with the HOA president, a business? Maybe somebody can Zoom from whoever owns that Burger King, I assume it's franchise.
Drury Hotel.
Okay. And then can we just get a meeting done in the next 30 days of what everybody expects to, I would assume they'll be happy to engage us and let's just,
I think HOA may see it belong to auto.
They don't know the road.
They don't know.
I understand they always on the road, but they actually should have money in some type of account in order to help with that, knowing that the expense will go away if they're back to taken.
I would think they would be motivated to, in some regard, to get this over with.
Do we have to take the part of the street that's owned by, Midland Bank, you know, the tire place, you want to take that section also in? Because they're not complaining.
That's the grinder there, right?
Grinder.
That's right, that's Bill is what they own.
It's all Bill Court, isn't it?
No, it's two
Grinder.
separate.
That's what I'm getting. I don't want all of the people involved to talk to us all at one time and take the whole thing over.
Like I said, grinder hasn't been as loud, and that's the one that comes in off of.
Well, but
Market.
in 5 years, then if they bring it back up, we're gonna say, why didn't we just take care of all of it at one time and just.
They have more means to pay for it.
It's all Bill
Commercial
Court,
business.
according to Google.
It's not.
Yeah,
Bill goes in front of the
Yeah.
school there, and then you turn left towards Market, that's grinder. North south.
So can we make it a priority to just,
Yeah, who do you want? The street committee chair to lead that, or us, or?
I mean, but I was thinking more of you need to, that's perfect. Talk to Joel,
We need
get
to-
with the people.
We need a basketball amount of money in order to do that. How much is that?
Correct.
We have to shoot for something.
Matt and I had a meeting with them, like, you gotta do something to bring it up to some sort of condition, because right now it's pretty rough down, it's bad.
It might be, you get that.
Well, we don't know that. Correct.
Correct.
250 and 250,000.
Yeah, I don't think it's that much. Well, the Congress, you just have to cut out.
But Joel and JR get with the people that have skin in the game to make a plan, and hopefully by 60 days from now, we
I
get
know
this.
one of the owners actually reached out to one of the asphalt companies, to get a number on what an overlay would look like. I have not heard that yet.
But like I said, this has been coming up twice a year for the last 9 years, I don't know how it is, it's just
Not good.
It's going around, I mean, they're getting ready to start review
Okay. Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Alright, striping,
Yes,
I know I emailed you about it.
yes.
Do we stripe Lakeview Drive? Base contract?
I'm a contractor,
Yeah, that's the budget for this year.
yes.
Okay. Because it's bad in hindsight, but it's great.
I have a contact for the company out of Red Bud that does that work. We're working with Eric, street department lead, on identifying other streets that need to be done, because they'll be done way too drive.
Right. And we don't have a lot of striped roads. And then, crosswalk walks, that's somewhere out to do that. Yeah. I don't know.
You're exactly where I was.
I think we're gonna-
We're gonna be able to submit, or we're gonna look at crosswalks, streets, things like that.
Or at the WSA, it's, people are blocking it because it's not there anymore.
Yeah, we've got some over on our side.
Where's it blocking the district?
Concrete Street,
Where's it blocking the district?
the crosswalk.
Well, we should have more summer help this year. We only had one, that's the vast majority of last year.
Yeah, that was blocked last Saturday. Walk by.
Jared, striping, what's a reasonable expectation? July 4th? That's something to be done, or it's a fall project, or?
The summer project will be fine. I don't know if July 4th, I need to get with the contractor. They just came up last week.
Yeah, before the kids go back to school,
Information, I got a list.
We send you a list in our area, and then you can just cross the reference with yours.
We can.
I don't know what that says.
What stripe roads do you have over there?
Crosswalks.
Oh, that's.
And then there's more striped roads in, there's streets than we think. Just kind of looking at them all, there's getting all this. I can expect.
Yeah, I'm not really too.
Roger. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then one final thing, this is not a city thing, so there's a construction project on Route 3, so it's supposed to start yesterday. And it's gonna go from, is it North Market to Vandenberg?
Goes from basically HH down to South Market.
You say South Market.
Yes.
Alright, so between, and I know this is Illinois Road, but from there up Halifax, there's like really needs to be redone as well. Is there a way you just bend the stakes here and say, you've done north of it, now you're doing south of it, can you put this on your, okay.
That section of north needs to be done.
It does.
And a little bit south.
I agree 100%, that's why I want to ask. Is the community divided that can
I don't know anybody that can speak about that.
Yeah, can I
So,
say,
and it's minor work, so it's just a kind of like a micro surfacing,
it was over,
a ceiling.
Gary, it was over a year ago, I talked to a DOT engineer one day, and they're not gonna touch, he knows exactly what you're talking about, but they wanna see the intersection of Rose and Route 3 get done before they do anything.
This way, might be
I'll be
retired by then.
Wow, you just pull over the top of it?
It's almost like it's a seal, more or less. They're gonna start with, pressure washing off the existing pavement markings that are on the roadway that are
Okay, so.
falling off.
Yeah.
Pulling off anyhow.
Yeah.
The water blasts that off. So, and seal a lane at a time. They may do 2 lanes, to kind of shift traffic around.
And they're gonna knock it down to 1 lane northbound, 1 lane southbound.
That's correct.
That'll make some happy people.
You use the
handle
pass,
this?
you use the left-hand turn lane, the passing lane.
Yes, sir.
If you'd be so kind, just back up, Lakeview Drive,
Yes,
you said you got a recommended
yes,
status.
yes.
Was that due to the fact that we had the money available? Or was that more that we have engineering and everything ready to go? What made it that recommended status?
See,
In your opinion?
in my, well, the recommended is that each county gets a project, so we are going to get a project, it's our turn to get it
Okay.
this year, but the recommended list, they have, 20 projects that were submitted, top 10 get recommended. So it's just recommended, if something should come up, you want to recommend, so, so us also giving, but submitting, getting more money allowed one of the other municipalities to put in a project or fund portion of their project, so that that's like well overall.
And if they have projects that don't go, then that money goes back out, and goes back into the pool again. But we'll get one project.
It doesn't really do to enhance that.
No, we'll get it. It's just recommended, and it's gotta be officially voted on.
Not me, that was you.
Anything else?
Thank you. Our collector budget officer is ill. Anybody have questions that would have normally come to Sarah Craig?
She sent out the revised budget?
Yes.
And next year's fiscal budget for review?
Yes.
If we don't have any questions, when does she meet those questions by?
We should have that on council, week from tonight.
So,
If you have questions or issues or anything, make sure you get those to her, before then. When you get an opportunity to look at it. In general, we're gonna start 2.7 million. That's, $1.2 million that's more free that we're not gonna spend. And in general, approximately $2 million that we can't spend, it's not gonna happen. So, we should end the fiscal year in the black as we had planned. A lot of updates to sewer plant that he mentioned, because sewer plant's 20 years old, almost replacing the board, motors and stuff out there. And of course, we decided to do high pressure gas main from Northwinds out to our property. And a few other things that push the budget up a little higher than it probably would have been, but But individual questions, you should address those separately. Community relations?
Yep. Okay, first of all, some of the upcoming dates or events that, we kind of went over last month, they're all the same, so I have an updated sheet, but, the only thing that was added is a electronic recycling event. If you want a copy of this, feel free to take one. But I wanted to just go over a couple of the things, since they're coming up fairly soon. This Saturday, May 17th, is the Firebird Fest in downtown Waterloo. I met with the police department and street department to make sure that everyone knows the street closures, and all that to take care of for that event. The parade in the downtown starts at 3:30, with the live music starting at 4:30, so, just so everyone's aware, that is this coming up Saturday. And then also, like I said, there's an electronics recycling event at the fairgrounds on Saturday in the morning, from 9 to 2. And then the other thing, there's, like I said, lots in between, but I won't be in attendance at the next utility meeting, so I wanted to go ahead and pass around, the sign-up sheet for our participation in the Port of West Calica Parade. That is on June 17th. The parade's at 6, but we meet around 5:30, 5:45. So we just need a couple of drivers, some walkers, and a few kiddos to ride in the pumpkin train. So I will pass this around if you want to start with this. If you're available, then join us. So the next thing, unless anybody had questions about events coming out.
Do you have to need anybody for this weekend or you good?
No. One of the things that is in the budget that I wanted to talk about, because we haven't yet. And last year we replaced the, council chairs. This year we would like to replace the guest chairs that are in the council chambers. I brought a show and tell, they're over here along the wall. Brad, you wanna, if you don't mind bringing them over. They are original to the building, so they're 30 plus years old at this point and showing a lot of wear.
That's one without holes.
Yeah, they're getting pretty bad.
You turn around.
Yeah.
Need some music when you're doing it.
So I did, before we put the budget together, I got a quote from KI. And we got a quote for this chair to replace them with. It would look slightly different because the colors and the fabric, we get to all pick that stuff out. But this is the chair that we're proposing to replace those with. We would need 42 of them.
Perfect, what do you need, a motion?
Does it have a holder already?
Can't wait to see it on the house.
Yeah, and then there's also the back corner, so we got that back corner where like Nate and Brad and Chief and, that they all sit. So we got this stuff quoted along with those. The total cost for the entire council room would be $21,041. So that is what we put in the budget to replace the furniture.
Per year, that's like $700.
Right, like I said, this
We
stuff,
use them really well.
it has a lifetime warranty. The last set that we purchased, which was from KI, the same company, 30 years. So, and
30 years.
those I'm not sure, we never staffed those, we never know.
I think it's,
That's our Tim Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's in the budget, we can have a finance committee meeting, or if we're fine with just putting it on the agenda,
Put it on the agenda, let's
I
go.
can do that too. The other purchase we have in the budget is staff chairs, Hannah again. So this is just for the office staff on the main level. The chairs that are currently being used are over 15 years old, and the fabric is wearing the same way that the others are. So we need 10 total at a cost of $6,000 for those.
Perfect.
So, just wanted to go over that with you.
Those are like, there's upstairs or whatever.
Well, they're breaking to the point where Brad is having to pick and take pieces off of chairs, to put together chairs. Yeah, to make one good one, so, yeah, it's time. So, just wanted to make you aware that that is in the budget that you're reviewing. But I would like to get going, and there's like a 4 to 6 week lead time on these, so I would like to place the order sooner than later.
What's 4 to 6 weeks on 30 years?
Yeah, I know, Joel, but
Well, the last
I'm gonna cross it off my list. Yeah, so anyway, just wanted to bring it to your attention.
I have more everyone said.
And then the other budget item is, believe it or not, we still have many requests for printed street maps. I know, I said believe it or not, that's why I lettered that. We have, quite a few requests for these, and we are out. These were printed in August of 2016.
So you can't have that many requests for them.
Well, my point exactly, we have, and we didn't even get all of these 5,000 copies printed by the chamber. The chamber, they did this project, they revisited the, they are out of the and decided not to pursue it. So that was something that we just need to decide, do we want to have them available here at City Hall for people that come in and ask for them?
It was the cost, how many copies do we have to,
How many do we have currently?
how many do we actually have?
Well, the majority of the cost comes in the set, in the layout, so, but that's where the cost comes from. Because the company has to redo, they work with the mapping people and have to
What's the cost?
create graphics. So the cost is actually pretty expensive, it's over $7,000 for 4,000 and 5,000. You can see the difference between the quantities is very minimal because like I said, the cost is in the setup.
So the chamber decided not to do it.
Correct.
And who are the requestors where we get these requests from?
People that come in, Natalie at the front came and asked, do we have any more of these? I'm still getting requests. I said, no, what we have is what we have. So, we are now 100% out of them,
So these were printed in 2016,
2016.
so that's in 9 years.
Right.
So in 9 years, we're gonna be at 2034.
And, you know, we didn't even get all 5,000 copies that were printed. We just got a supply that the chamber gave us. I don't know how many that was. I'm not sure how many that is.
It's actually a thing, do you actually want to do this or not?
Right.
We are getting requests for them, but do you want to do
Well,
it?
and, well, we don't know how to quantify that number.
No.
Did 2 people ask us or did 4? That's a big difference.
She says she gets a handful of requests every month.
From the same people.
Well, we had them at the time, and we just recently have completely ran out. So,
Or two.
I don't
Or can
know.
we go with some local printing company and can send us like 500 of them for
Right.
7,000?
It's not the printing, it's the,
But if you go with somebody else,
I don't know who to go to.
So there was a good question posed from over here. Can we take that and just put it on the website or refer people to the website?
Yes.
And these are the people that aren't technologically
Oh,
savvy.
But,
So just print out a phone.
yeah,
Put it on your phone.
Right.
Like most people, you don't know where you're going.
You asked for too much, you asked for too much.
Bringing it up because we.
Let's put a pin in it.
Okay, you're good.
We'll talk about if there's some good solutions that don't include this, and we'll bring it back.
There's no appetite for it, there's no appetite.
Yeah, I'm just bringing
You
up
asked for
those,
too much tonight.
we, yeah, I know, Joel. Okay,
Hey, you probably shouldn't ask for anything.
I'm doing good back here now.
yeah, yeah. Well, my next thing is asking for money, but it's not for me. So we good on this, we'll just revisit it, think about it, stew over it.
See if there's another file.
Pilot,
Yeah. The next thing is, 2 advertising requests that we've done in the past. Port West Alca, they are, requesting a sponsorship. There's,
What do we do last year?
we did 2 things.
Do the same thing.
Is everybody okay with that?
okay with that.
Alright. The other one is, sponsors holders. That is coming up.
Didn't we just do this?
No, we did not.
That was
A year ago.
We didn't do anything.
I think we did, we did push it till late last year.
Yes.
Yeah, we did it in August.
It was a whole year ago already. So anyway, it's time
It
to
was August
decide
last year.
for
but
the
yeah.
2025 event if we want to continue our sponsorship with sponsors holders.
I've pushed hard the last 3 years, I still think it's a good thing to do, even though it's in Columbia, I still think it's a nice representation with the county. But that's my thought.
They hold water events too.
They do.
Here. I'll be, dogs for soldiers, yea or nay?
Whatever we did
Oh,
last year.
what did we do?
Yeah, sorry.
What we did last year?
So
What did we do?
we did we've always done the platinum level sponsorship.
We're going, this would be our 3rd year.
This will be, yeah, our 3rd year.
For the best, baby, for the best. Yes,
And the reason we originally chose that level 2 years ago is because it was the minimum sponsorship level where you get the 30-second video that shows the
No,
people.
it's been nice for
I mean, I still think I think it's a great event. I'm not sure why we picked this one above any other
I
event
know.
to give the most money for out of town, but this is our 3rd year, let's dial it up.
This comes out of the general orders. It's hotel motel.
Well, we talked about that hotel motel had like 130 and
It's got money.
and we said,
And it's got restricted use, this is one.
yeah. So Phil,
All good?
Yes.
I'm good.
Okay.
Well, I will put that on there.
excellent.
That's all I have for tonight.
Thanks for that.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Tricia? And yes?
Yeah, I'll call him up in just one second.
Oh, I had to chase each other, so.
We just wanted to hear everything you say. Okay, so just wanted to give an update. You guys were asking some questions on recruiting earlier, so wanted to let you all know that we did officially fill the underground operator position. Peyton Dill has been hired for that position. We have a full-time clerk position that just opened for bid as of Monday. And so that position is open, so we have a clerk retiring, and so, that position is open for bid. And then summer hires, we have hired 4 this year. And they will be starting on Monday, the 19th. All 4 of them. Yeah, so we have Seth Wiggert, Tim Reinholz, Garrett Miller, and Jackson Deutsch. So, but yep, all 4 of them will be starting Monday, and mowing, painting, and then a special crosswalking, and special project with JR with our utility poles, light poles, that kind of thing.
What do we pay our summer house?
17 an hour.
17?
And we had a lot of applicants, so, yeah, so,
That's a decent rate.
yeah. Okay, any questions regarding that right now? All right, so then without further ado, I'm gonna invite my guests up. So I sit on the board of the Monroe Rudolph Transit District, and Jessica is the executive director, and Angela is the CFO. So they're gonna talk to you a bit about how we utilize their services here in Monroe County. And they are a great duo, so
Pretty good experiment.
Yeah, like 5,000 of them.
Not the printing.
their website. Also, side note with the maps, we participated in fundraisers before where we buy an ad in a map and we get a handful of them. I can maybe find a contact for you.
That's an option, is to sell advertising to help pay for them, yeah, with this company too.
Okay, I'm Jessica, this is Angela with Monroe Randolph Transit District. It's been a while since we've made the rounds, so we thought it was time to pop in and just remind our municipalities that your service is here. We are the one and only public transit district for Monroe and Randolph counties. We offer a demand and response service, so you don't see bus stops on the corner. We're very rural. We're covering over 940 square miles between our two counties. So all that system works much better for our type of an area. I wanted to provide you with just a brief pamphlet of the services that we provide. It outlines the demand response service that we do have. There is some dated information here as well. We no longer have any of our fixed route services. We are just starting our route study. We've hired a consultant to come in and assess all of our communities, taking a look at the district overall, the individual needs that each community has. You know, what the transportation needs in Waterloo is going to look a lot different than the transportation needs in Steelville. So just taking a broader look at what might work better in our very different, diverse communities. Interesting facts, just to point out, you look at the top of this page, we've provided 14,000 trips over the past 12 months. So this is not a full fiscal year, it's just the last 12 months worth of data that we have. And about 44% of those trips originate in Monroe. So it's neat to see how the trips are fairly equally spread across both counties. When we first started gathering the data, well, we've been around for 20 years now. That's another exciting thing. People don't realize that we're here, so we're unfortunately one of the best kept secrets in Monroe and Randolph County. But we started with about 30% of trips were originating in Monroe County. So it's nice to see that number growing. It means that people know that we're here. And about 40% of the trips that start in Waterloo stay in Waterloo. So that's also exciting to see. A lot of your people are staying local. So they're shopping local, doctoring local, meeting their needs that right here in Waterloo. So that's interesting to see. What else do we have, Ange?
We're excited about the route study. They're going to be going out into the communities that we serve and talking to people and trying to get information about what people need. So if anyone comes here, anyone talks about it, or if they come here to talk to anyone, we hope that you will give them some information just because we want to be as convenient as we can for the people that we serve. So I also want to go on and say that we did not ask you guys for any
Are you, can I ask, I can't remember, are you going to, out of Monroe, Randolph County, like, are you going to St. Clair? Or not?
We can, yeah, we had to terminate that service that we had, it was not utilized.
So you're not going to transfer over to like Dr.
We do not, but we can. And we know that that's a big need, especially in that part of our district. A lot of people cross the bridge and they go to the medical equipment over there. That's why it's so important when we do have our consultant reach out to the communities, please speak up, let us know what you need. We'll be doing some different focus groups within the communities, because again, everyone is so different. But we need to know that we can build.
And what about, is it $6 one way?
It's $6 each way, anywhere within the district. So you could leave here and go to Coderville, it'd be $6.
Okay.
And anyone in this room could call and schedule. This is not based on your age, income, disability, where you live, it doesn't matter.
anyone at all can call and schedule a trip. We're Monday to Friday, 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. service at this time. Again, if there are needs that reach beyond that, we need to know that as well, so that we can build our service to be the greatest thing possible. Contact information in the brochure. Please feel free to reach out. If you have any
We
situations,
have some of these here.
you do have some?
I would ask you, we do.
I don't know. If
I
you
don't
don't,
think we do.
We'll get you some.
Yeah, I can get them on Thursday. You know.
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good information, thank you.
You asked, I heard one, I'll be very fast. You can just say how much you buy. What's solicitation prohibited? Is that outside of a store, someone was trying to see, we go door to door trying to sell? In neighborhoods? Yeah. Without getting. And we actually write tickets?
It's all the time.
Really?
Especially once it's warm weather, they're in neighborhoods.
What about the ice cream
They get a permit too.
So that is an ordinance violation?
I know they haven't passed.
It is, but that's one of the most prevalent ones.
They're asking solicitation.
Yeah.
If they have a permit and they walk away and leave and you don't see them, that means they don't.
It's usually always, there's always a boss, drops off 5 or 6 of them, and says, go sell the door. These
Gutters.
These guys don't have to put up
like
with
that, I would imagine.
Solar panels.
Yeah.
You get nervous when you ask them to see your permit, too.
And you gotta tell everybody else, get your buddies, back them up and go.
Thank
Do they say like permanents, we don't need those things.
Yeah, exactly. So last week we started receiving packages containing, equipment for our baby tent. So we're still waiting on one more piece of equipment, which is magazines. And once I have that, I can upload all the packing slips to the website for reimbursement.
But if we can spend
I
some
don't know
money,
what it'll take, but I'm hoping
give
this
500.
week or next week we'll get the rest of it.
Whatever they denied,
We'll get the refunds on the way.
they can do it. That's all.
The Dutchess Firebird Fest, they're gonna be closing the streets, Main Street from 4th to 1st, Third Street from Market to Church, and Mill Street from Market to Church for all day Saturdays. But there'll be signs at the end of each barricade that say the businesses will be open during that time frame. Just something that's easy, it's the only way we can make sure the roads are clear. Gives us time to get cars out of there and stuff like that, so. Then hopefully everybody can come join Firebird Fest. You gonna be there?
Okay.
And lastly, our department's participating in the law enforcement torch run again. It's a fundraiser for Special Olympics. So, tentative date, we'll be doing the run June 16th. We had 8 to 10 members last year do it. We run 2 miles throughout the downtown area. It's a good event. Show up to watch, give encouragement, and encouragement, I'll do. But if you know of anybody that'd like to donate or purchase a shirt, so $20 for a shirt. Questions? Yes?
Technically, who's the hourly officer? Are we company has an injury officer? Is there anything to say publicly, especially when you come back?
Isn't he like after surgery 4.5 months?
It's something like that. Surgery, I know was this week.
Oh, I didn't know, see, surgery?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And I spoke to the person that, I think it was after
Surgery is this week.
You doing all right?
Okay.
Anything else? Thing, I guess, since Route 3 is gonna be down to 2 lanes, that'll put a lot more power. People are probably gonna go down Market Street.
Okay.
Once they experience the slowdown, so.
Yeah, I'll go through
It's just a matter of life. It's gonna happen.
We'll just have to see if it changes or makes us respond to this one.
That's right.
Wow.
I know.
That's why I'm just for you.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, there's there's FOP lunch out at the North Six at the back of the pavilion. Yeah. It's free for city employees, and you guys are all welcome to join. So it starts at noon. 11:30. But you can come and do it if you want. We'll still be there.
Right.
So let me know this week, welcome to Rick Laird. I did contact him earlier this week and let him know about the house wrap. I mean, the house wrap is not good forever. It's meant to be covered up, so.
Yeah, we're getting very close on the stuff.
Hopefully by the end of the week it'll look different. This one here, the shed up, falling down and a lot of junk on Market Street. Sent the violation out to hopefully get that cleaned up. Here's one on Salisbury, had some complaints on. Yeah, right on the corner, Jim. There is someone living there.
No, it's in.
Oh, and it's in? I don't know about that. There wasn't a house.
Oh, good.
That's been a problem,
It is, it's every year.
That's the guest room here.
It's a TRDO. I've received a ton of complaints out of Northlands and Common Grounds. This one here, farms that usually mows, it's been extremely wet. And then there's also some ground on the back that a bank owns. I've received a ton of complaints on it.
I haven't heard that, but I have the same deal that I've done.
And it's kind of got away from the grass cutter. He's gonna have to bring a tractor in. And it's a low area, so it's hard to get in there. So this is the berm that backs up to most residents. Every year. So I did send a violation, try to get him to stay on it. We'll drink it this year. He did reach out to me today and said he'd go get on the farmer and make sure it's cut for this year. But I did receive an email on the side. This is one on Moore, tall grass, there's a lot of brush in the yard, and also this fence that's been there for quite a while. So I'm happy that cleaned up somebody. The house was vacant for a while, and he's been working on the house over here and there, and it's time to get this cleaned up. Here's one on Grand. So they had a new service, a sewer pipe put in. It's been like this for quite a while. The reason you can see the street, it's got a lot of mud and stuff washing on the street. So I told him to get that level out and stop it, or seed it. Yeah. See how it's were great. He did clean the street off since that's a new violation. Cleaned the grade out, and they have. It has. So it's time they need to get something done with it.
You know how it is in West Fargo.
No, yeah. You're right. 512, South Library, the trailer. The guy is officially out of there. He's actually gotten mowing. He's in a home right now, but he's not going back to the trailer. So the guy is working on cleaning that up. Hopefully he's going to get rid of it. It's a disrepair. So.
Where's that again, Brad?
South Library, 512.
We're going to give a time frame yet to do that.
This year.
Now, first,
I think he's gonna probably get it down this month, seeing as what he, that was his plans originally.
So he was just waiting on that person to
Get out.
get out.
And it took a long time for, HSS to find him somewhere, but he does have an apartment, it's gonna work out good for him because his dad's in Columbia at home, so it'll work out for everyone good. So, and we'll get rid of that trailer real quick. So, that's really all I have. I've got a lot of grass complaints with all the rain, but people are so impatient. You know, I gotta give your neighbor a break sometimes. Sure. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Oh, Brad, I had
Had a meeting this evening.
I'm sorry, I had a complaint on, O'Reilly's. How far to your hearing about that?
I have not.
It's really high. A lady called me today. She was surprised because the business is allowed to be so high.
So I had a lot of business this year, and I don't know what the deal is. Like, I don't know if anyone noticed for Applebee's how high it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a misunderstanding. It was same on liquor that was taking care of it. So it just got moved the other day, but I'll reach out to O'Reilly's.
Yeah, I mean, it's just unusual for them. Usually, there's a ganger every week.
Right.
Springs Dollar General actually has theirs, but across the street O'Reilly's, they don't.
You do Delaware out.
Yeah, she usually is.
I'll stay on.
I know what the rain is.
It may quit sometime. Maybe I'll.
Last week, the Illinois Gaming Board was actually in town. I don't know if they visited anyone. They did visit the Children in Paradise that has not opened yet. And I don't know, they were just checking on, that's what they were checking on. He came in, and I missed him by a couple of minutes. And I talked to him on the phone for about 20 minutes, but there's only 4 of those guys that actually cover all of Southern Illinois. I don't expect you to be packed anytime soon, simply because we have no territory they have covered. But he left me his name, phone number, if we have any issues, and video games or you know, a problem with it, we'll certainly give them a call. Also today, Jim Straube from the sewer plant gave us notice that he's retiring after 31 years. His last day will be August 20th, although he'll still be employed until October 1st. Obviously, his resignation was very appreciative. I've worked for the city for all these years, but it was time for him to go. Committee reports. 4/21/25 Green Street.
I do not have that ready on that next meeting.
And 4/21 Water Issue Beautification.
I got the notes out, everybody. Have a motion to approve the minutes. Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
C, 4/21 Planning Committee. Did you take the minutes? For us?
No, they should be out.
Quarterfinal planning?
Let's do this.
I object all.
Sure. Sure you can jump on there.
Yes, she was.
People are waiting.
I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Thank you very much, Hopkins, second.
Second.
Thank you, Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
D, 4/21 Finance.
Those were the Russ two, the Russ was handed out.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Joel?
Then let's make up, all in favor.
Aye.
E, 4/21.
Hold on.
What?
Jordan, second on that?
Yeah.
It's down to the finance committee.
Oh, right, I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, put me down first on beautification.
That's good.
No big deal, I did actually. It's nice.
Well, I thought that one focus was on, he is on beautification, but that's why he's not on that, so. Okay, so you need a second on the finance.
I mean, first,
I think I'm still fine, I haven't seen the list.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay. Where-
Okay. It's unanimous already, okay.
okay.
8421 ordinance.
Everybody should have the minutes, take a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Rose, second.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Hopkins, all in favor?
aye.
And 55 ordinance.
5-5, motion to approve.
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mose, second.
Second,
That one was only me giving shit.
Yeah,
There you go. Thank you, Mr. Hopkins. All in favor?
Tom and Bobby, you're up first.
here's a couple, if I may, there, and I do appreciate my friend from Board 3 bringing that up about the tire shop and the buildings and all that area up there. It's something that needs to be rectified. I remember when that was brought in as a plan in the development. And we don't have that anymore, but
It was downstairs.
but that was brought in as something new and something that would go over. And we're still really upset.
It ain't go over. Stop.
But I do hope that they come up with a hefty amount from the homeowners association that we can talk business and get that corrected. So I thank you for bringing that up. And the other thing is, Mayor, and I speak to all of us, if you haven't been to the farmer's market, you're missing a treat. It is changed, it has been improved, and it really is something to be on Saturday morning. So I hope you can make it. It is absolutely wonderful, and I'll say it, that's water too.
It's wonderful and Ward 2 is that a contradiction terms.
Actually, Laura, it is really, I've been coming out here, it's amazing how wonderful.
1984 was middle of last year and actually was doing really, really well. I enjoy it.
It's fun to be there.
It's easier to get to in a crosswalks.
You know, there's that one from both sides of the street.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
So you
And
can't cross.
it is well used. That's it.
Oh,
I don't have it.
I don't have any, but Jim and I I live in Ward 2 hats will be in shortly, so we'll be able to pass those out and sell those. I have nothing.
yeah. Yeah,
Mayor.
Not in, I'm out.
Alright, so take this, I don't wanna debate this tonight, but I had a resident call, a tree of their neighbors was hanging in a bad spot on their property that could have fallen down. They've got lawyers involved. They asked, the city has nothing on the books that would stop. If your neighbor Jim had a tree that split and it was hanging there and an arborist, right, would say, that's a danger to your house, there's no recourse the city has at this time to get involved. I don't know if we want to, the city's 100 whatever years old, but it could be done. Other cities have done it. Just read it over and see if this is something the city wants in their toolbox. I don't think there's a negative to be able to get involved, but you can also say we haven't done it before and the city's ran just fine. So I just brought it up, look at it, we can talk about it next utility meeting and see where everybody's interest level is.
So the one you circled is really an ordinance that we would.
That would be the thing to question. Yeah, we don't have the ability right now. That would be, then Brad could go out and say, you have an ordinance violation or get this taken care of. The same way, you can put it in the same way as grass or anything else that we do, solicitation, as it were. It would be the same type of thing. We haven't done it.
So in the same, in the same way, if we have to mow a property, it's not me maintaining, we pay to mow that, and then we put a lien on that property, will we do the same thing with
We don't.
a
We
dangerous
send the bill to the owner, right?
No, we put a
We may,
We may put a lien on it.
We had to put a lien on it.
I mean, we could, that's what I'm saying, it's a brand new thing.
It does come up a lot now.
The trees.
It does,
Yeah. So like I said, I think, I really think it's not the worst thing that I've seen sitting at these tables, but I also don't want to put anybody on the spot tonight, think about it for a month and we'll talk about it. That's all I have there.
Anything else?
I guess in thinking about this, just first glance here, be Brad sees in the street, or we get a complaint, and then
We give it a point. I'm not gonna have Brad driving around looking for it, so he's not a trained arborist to know to do this.
so that
We
can train him.
So,
If somebody doesn't want
who's
to
trying
get
to
that down.
who has it?
It's probably dead trees that have been struck by lightning and that are just leaning towards falling.
Sentimental tree, everyone cut down, I planted when I got married 7 years ago, that kind of crap.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But
No, that's everything. I'm just bringing it up to.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
That's it.
One more time?
That's it.
Just a question, back onto the sewer department, we had a guy that said that he had put a tire.
Jim Strawberry, yeah.
Okay. Is that a small farm? Is it
There's 3 people.
a lot, so three small? Does it go, I'm not familiar with stuff yet, does it go through the same process like you did with the American utility where you
Correct.
bid?
So, ask me.
Yeah.
He is, Jim Strawberry is the lead person out there.
Okay.
So that position can actually go up. It can be bid inside either for 5 or 10 days, depending on what the union wants to do. The one that was inside is only 5, they agreed to 5 days. Normally it's 10 days. And anyone, inside can actually bid on that job. And if they take it to the negotiation process, and if that person also asks me, then you go through the process again. Because you're now replacing another ask member. And when you get to the end when nobody else actually wants to bid on it, then you go outside to hire someone. So it can be a rather elongated process,
Yes.
depending on the position.
I'm glad then that he gave us a pretty long notice there, so. Awesome.
That's all. Good question.
Perfect.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Not anymore.
All day. Yeah. He was this close to being out of it. Okay, I don't have anything else. Motion to adjourn. Second? Matt? Okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.